Postcards have found a resurgence amongst newer resellers. Easy to list, easy to ship. What many overlook is the history that can be told from one card. History Behind the Paper presents the story of Lou Flyer, Lefty Lou, the Hebrew Southpaw. While sorting postcards, I came across one of Lou Flyer, welterweight contender. Easy to realize that Lou is a boxer. What was different about this postcard was a symbol on Lou's boxing shorts, the Star of David. A Jewish boxer? Let the research begin. Lou was born on May 13, 1916 in New York. His parents, Joseph and Franny, were both Russians who came to America in the early 1900s. They spoke Yiddish and English, having 5 children in all. World War I draft records indicate that Joseph requested to be exempt from the draft due to being the sole supporter of his wife and children. Joseph worked as a furrier to support his family. They lived in New York City until the 1920s and moved out to Los Angeles between 1925 and 1930. During this time, in 1927, Joseph took the Declaration of Intention, renouncing forever his allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, state, or sovereignty, and particularly to Russia. In 1930, their Los Angeles home was valued at $5,000, with it being owned, not rented. This is what the house looks like according to today's internet. City directories show that by 1938, Joseph had passed away. Franny would pass away in 1972. No obituary could be located for either Joseph or Franny. I wish I could have found more about the family's move. One can only imagine what it must have been like to relocate an entire family from the East Coast to the West Coast during the mid-1920s. At that time, Lou wasn't even a teenager, so one hesitates to state that it was for his future boxing career. Lou Flyer, known as Lefty Louie Flyer or the Hebrew Southpaw, had a boxing career that spanned from 1936 to 1947. He debuted on March 17, 1936 at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles. Boxing against Al Valdez, Lou won in a TKO at the minute 30 mark in the first round. Louis would go on to have 69 bouts during his career with 36 wins, 24 losses, and 9 draws. Newspapers are spattered with articles about Lou's matches from his wins to his losses. My favorite article tells of Lou's strength and his boxing ability, taken from the St. Louis Globe-Democrat on January 29, 1946. Last week, Lefty Louie Flyer was given a rough and vigorous evening by Bulldog Dave Riley. Last night, it was just a breeze for the transplanted L.A. Walloper, now living in St. Louis, when he required by 2 minutes of the customer's time to knock out Jimmy Stewart, a Philadelphia importation. Flyer's opponent offered little or nothing in the face of Lefty Louie's big guns, and after he bounced off the rug a 4th time, referee Ray Palmer put a stop to it. Finding information about Lou's life after boxing proved to be quite difficult. The many spellings of not only his last name, but first name led me down many rabbit holes. I did find his World War II draft card, which lets us know that he had married and was working at Ritz Ice Cream. Boxer by night, ice cream man by day? Take note of the mention of the scar above Lou's right eye, perhaps a result of his bout against Babe Brandelli, where Lou sustained a cut above his right eye right as he was leading. Lou would have his last fight on May 23, 1947 at the Hollywood Legion Stadium. He would lose to Charlie Daniels, getting knocked out twice in the 2nd round. What happened in Lou's life between 1947 until his death in 1997 is a mystery. Some online forums indicate that he divorced and married again. His obituary remains a mystery as well, as I was not able to locate and find any obituary or even a death notice. Though much of Lou's life seems to be lost to the hidden rooms of history, he can be remembered as a boy who grew up in a family that pursued a dream, whatever it was, of life out on the West Coast. His Jewish ancestry played a part in his boxing career, adding his name to the history of Jewish boxers who battled in the ring during a tumultuous time for the Jewish people. Lefty Louie Flyer, more than just a man on a picture postcard.